Yeah, kudos to them for that.
Now in Creed 3, he's just got to fight Mr. T, right? And then he's done.
Oh
That's
my
it.
God! Why? When is Mr. T showing up? Come on!
I wanted the ghost of Carl Weathers in this one too. I know they keep showing his face. Come on. I'll even take Chubbs Peterson. Let's get him in this thing. Come on. Creed 3, help us out.
with the wooden hand.
I'll take it. Come on. You know you'd love that. It'd be awesome.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the Pod Hub Network. In this episode, I recap the Steelers' loss in Denver with Steven Bristow. Then I recap Week 12 in the NFL with regulars Mark Hagelauer and Coach Warzu. And finally, we have our first movie review as I review Creed 2 with professional entertainer and music teacher Tucker Booth. The Donut Bag starts right now. Steelers' winning streak comes to an end with a 24-17 loss in Denver. With me to talk about it is Steven Bristow. He is at Steelers Frenzy on Twitter. How you doing, sir?
Wish I could be joining you under better circumstances here, but the glass slipper has to fall off the foot at some time, and just so happened to be in Denver, where it seems the Steelers can't do anything right ever.
It's their history in Denver is terrible, and I think that has something to do with it. I think the altitude has something to do with how they played and wore them down in the end. So I think that was a factor.
Yeah, I mean, you take a team, who just came off of that gritty performance down in Jacksonville, and you send them 3,000 miles west to high altitude in Denver, and it's it was just a recipe for disaster today, and that's what we got. Everything went wrong that could go wrong. So I think I saw Ike Taylor still chasing after that Tim Tebow pass. He was still on the field trying to chase him down. So it was one of those days where everything goes wrong, and you just kind of laugh, and that's how today kind of was for me at least.
To me, that Tim Tebow game was one of the most heartbreaking losses, maybe in Steelers history, maybe in Pittsburgh sports history. That was so hard. Oh, I still replay that play in my mind, and it just hurts every time.
I mean, for Ike Taylor spent so long with the Steelers, and he might be remembered by the NFL fan base more for that play than anything else he did for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if that's good or bad, but sometimes that's how your name becomes remembered, and he's still trying to chase him down.
Yeah. It's just what hurt about this game was it was so winnable. They gave it away. It's like they were shopping for Christmas and decided, oh well, we could get him a gift card, or we could just gift the Broncos a win. You gotta. It's like Tomlin said after the game. You have to give them credit. It wasn't just the Steelers. It was Denver played well too. So.
They played well. They didn't play great. They played well. Like you just said with your reference about Christmas shopping and trying to give the game away. Well, Xavier Grimble gave them a very early Christmas present by trying to be Superman when he's a fourth-string tight end and very mediocre at that at best.
Well, let's start with they were about to kick a field goal, and they get it blocked. So there's 3 points right there.
Yeah. 3 points.
Then there's a play where where Grimble was completely all alone. He's about to walk into the end zone. He has one guy to beat, and instead of trying to avoid the guy, he takes him head on and loses the ball.
And the guy, like I said, he's a third to fourth string tight end, and he tries to lower his shoulder, and that might be the first hit that Grimble's had on offense all year long. Yeah. And he tried to be more of a man than what he actually is, and it showed. And that rule by the end by the league to if you fumble into the end zone, that's just ridiculous. By the way, I'll just put that out there. It's one of the most asinine rules that they have.
I couldn't believe it.
The fumble on the 1 yard line, and then it rolls into the end zone. It's now Denver's ball somehow. It just.
I didn't understand it. I was so surprised. Where I was watching the game when that happened, I went to the bathroom. I come back and Denver has the ball on their 20. Like what? Like we got nothing out of that. It's not even a field goal, not anything. Like that. Yeah, that rule is stupid. But
I believe the Jets had something like that against the Patriots last year, and it was just as bad. I believe it was Austin Safarian Jenkins had something happen like that, and it's just one of those old school rules that are just so antiquated and just so they just need to be changed. There's so much wrong, and you can just make something right, and it's just so easy, and it just blows my mind.
It's weird.
Yeah, so it's very, very weird.
So Denver kicks a field goal. I believe Steelers kick a field goal, and Denver gets a touchdown. Then at the end of the first half, Steelers look like they get stopped, and they're about to kick a field goal, and Boswell throws a pass to Villanueva. Like, what?
The scariest tight end in the NFL, a 6'8", 340-pound man, with the softest hands you'll find.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, he was either a tight end or a wide receiver, like in college or something like that. So
yeah, but
could you imagine trying to cover that guy? Like,
yeah, I mean, when you play for Army, you're really nothing really but a blocker in those offenses because they run 99.5% of the time. So I think I saw on Twitter somebody said that was his first touchdown since 2009 when he played wide receiver for Army, and it's just one of those weird stats that you don't think you would see come across the stat line is Chris Boswell to Alejandro Villanueva. It's just one of those. Wait, what is that correct? Was that a botch play? And no, it was a great call by Smith, and caught him off guard, and it seemed to be Steelers had the momentum back in their favor, and we kind of know how that went.
Oh crap! Did this not record? I don't think this is working.
Some technical difficulties, huh?
Possibly technical difficulties. Let me see here. Let's see here. I think it actually did work. I think we're good.
You should just leave this whole part in of just the awkward silence.
Yeah, really.
Leave it.
Well, think about it. It would be perfect.
Yeah, it would. I mean, for this game,
this game was a complete disaster full of mistakes. So why not this recording be a complete disaster full of mistakes?
Exactly.
I might leave this. Why not?
I mean, what else could go wrong? I mean, it's just
what is are my headphones gonna have a short and like electrocute me or something?
Don't say that. With the way things are going.
It might. So anyway, the first half. So they miraculously end up tied 10-10, and then it just looked like they were dominating at some points. And then in the third quarter, they're pinned on their 3-yard line, and Ben throws a 97-yard touchdown to Juju, And that's not even his first 97-yard touchdown of his career.
In 2 years, this man has done what the NFL could not do in over 100. Well, he's the first player in NFL history to have two 97-yard touchdown receptions in the history of the NFL, and he's 22 years old.
It's amazing.
And he's only getting. I mean, if you watch the game, Ben's going to Juju. AB is number 2 at this point.
And it's not, it's not that AB is any less. It's just that he's getting so much attention. Their number one priority is stop AB, and then but they're getting killed by Juju, and Juju is doing a great job. Although there was that one play, he was wide open. I think Ben overthrew him.
Yeah.
It was an unbelievable missed opportunity. And that would have been another touch. He was wide open, and they just couldn't connect. And then there was one to James Washington, another wide open opportunity. It seemed like Washington on that play, I think that partially was his fault. Instead of, he did this circus dive where he jumped in the air and did flips, and I don't know if he thought he was like in the circus or something like that, but I heard people say that all he needed to do was just keep running and he would have had it. But
I tend to agree that if he would have just took another step and not leaped, I think he would have had it. But he's been a major disappointment this year, and after spending a 3rd round pick on him, and he's not ready for the big leagues right now, and I mean that's okay. Let him sit back on the bench and call back up Justin Hunter, because
who kind of has emerged almost as the 3rd wide receiver is Switzer.
Yeah, Ryan Switzer, but he today too wasn't his best day.
Yeah, he fumbled.
Few bad drops, few fumbles. Even on the other punt return, which was called back by a penalty, they re-kicked. He tried to change hands, and that ball came a little loose there, and he kind of gave himself that old "oh boy" look on his face. You could see, and everything just seemed to go wrong, and I think that's the only takeaway from this game is everything basically was wrong.
And then the other major thing that went wrong, besides obviously the interception at the end of the game in the end zone, was James Conner. It looked like he had a great play, and he fumbles. And you just can't do that. I mean, this is another game. For as good as he's been all this year, there have been times when he's made mistakes, and it's cost him dearly, and it cost him dearly today.
Yeah, no, James Conner, he's been above and beyond what any one of us thought he was going to be. But this holding on to the ball issue is becoming more apparent each week. And I don't know if that's him being overused or the times of the game where this is going on. The nerves kind of get to him. But the last 2 weeks it's starting to show, especially last week versus the Jaguars when he burns Telvin Smith. Ben drops him a beautiful ball in his hands, and he just completely muffs it. And now this week where he picks up 25 yards and he gets cut in the legs, and somehow his legs cause the ball to be fumbled.
It's 2 games in a row now.
Yeah.
Where he has not looked good. So that's a little concerning, a little scary. I think their first several plays they didn't even attempt a run, which annoyed me. I don't know if they just decided, well, this is their defensive line is really good, so they're not going to be able to run and maybe use a short pass game or something like that. I don't know, but
I hate that. I hate that process. I will bang my fists down every. This whole Ben has to throw it 50 plus times. It's not the key to winning.
It's not.
And it shows. If you go look, they're not that good when Ben's throwing it 50 plus times a game, and he shouldn't be. And you need to stick with the run game. And this team's better when James Conner gets to go, and when he's going, and the team's significantly better when James Conner is on the ground running, and I don't know what it might have been. They're down to their third string right tackle. You got
Right.
Conner and the chip, but it's mind boggling when